Illumination is the most basic function of light. Because of light we can see. It keeps us from stumbling along and barking our shins against things or something worse. Light pushes against the dark night, and it calms fears that jump at shadows. But light also calls to life. Light is the first thing that God calls into being, even before he creates a source for it, before the sun or before fire even, there is the light peeling back the darkness and shining down on that formless deep. It's from that light that everything else flows. The dome of the sky is lit and filled with every kind of bird. And it's from that light, the rays pierce the oceans and illuminate the pathways of the Leviathan. Mountains and people and flowers all lift their faces to its brilliance. All life flows from that steadfast light. Now, in the book of John, he records several statements that Jesus makes. I am statements that Jesus makes. And Jesus says, one of the things he says is, I am the light of the world. And Jesus calls us out of darkness and into his wonderful life. But in the book of Mark, he goes a step further. He tells us that we too can be light of the world. He likens us to lamps on a lampstand or cities on a hill, all illuminated, lifted up with the light of life to shine down on the world. We are called to shine. Now it's easy. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the darkness of this world. It seems to grow and to creep and encroach closer day by day, closer and closer. Hearts become calloused by fear. Anger and greed rise up and they take shape in the darkness when we dwell there. We become accustomed to only seeing partially or dimly. But we cannot remain in the darkness. It's God's nature, thankfully, to illuminate. So when the light comes on us, we may cover our eyes and we may crouch away from it at the shock of it. It can even blind us for a time, but the goodness of the light, which is Jesus, the goodness is that it ignites our desire to be light for others. Recently, I was reminded that not to be daunted by the enormity of the grief of the world. It's not my light alone against the darkness, but rather Christ's light in me. And it's Christ's light in me and in you. It is all of us together shining against the darkness, beacons of life and of hope.